gosh. Hey y'all, hey. So I'm gonna be doing a life update. Get ready with me, chit chat. By the way, my name is Xandria. I turned 30 in July. It was the depth of my 20s. And I felt any ways about it, but some things that I did learn in my 20s that I definitely don't want to bring into my 30s is chasing money. Chasing money, chasing the next big idea, chasing or idolizing money or a lifestyle. And for me in my 20s, it was all about, let's get this money. I don't want to be working for somebody. I still don't. Self-acceptance of who I am. A lot of the things that people try to make a bad thing about me, being an introvert, being shy, being quiet, loving my own company. And I remember people always telling me, you got to break out of that. You need to be talking to people. But I'm a firm believer in that just the same way that God made introverts, just the same way that God made extroverts, he made introverts as well. And if you're not into labels, he just made you the way you were. Me, I'm not a talkative person unless I know you, unless I mess with you. Like, I'm very, very reserved until I know you, just because of history tells me, and what I've experienced in the past is getting close with someone eventually breaks my heart, or they go run my business. And to be very honest, I'm happy, and then I'm like, what the hell? What the hell have I done? What am I doing? I felt like in my 30s, I should be, what I envisioned for myself in my 30s was traveling the world with my husband, with my family, and in general, if I didn't have a husband, I would be just traveling the world, living my life, have a successful business, passive income, a few rental properties, to not having to be working for somebody, income going to where it's at, and then hope the makeup is going to stop me from crying. And it honestly looks nothing like that as far as what I envision myself business-wise. And I'm struggling with being okay with that. I'll just say that. But also personal-wise, in my 30s, I'm definitely living in my 10-year plan. I have a wonderful husband. I have a house. I have a car. I have a dog and a cat. All my necessities are taken care of, and I'm becoming the woman that I envision myself to be, and I pray that God has envisioned me to be as well. And I've definitely been struggling with like accepting where I'm at and just feeling like I'm supposed to be further. I feel like I put in the work, I've done this, I've done that, I support people, and feel like I don't get the support in return. So that's how I feel in my 30s, and we'll see what 30s bring me, what God brings me, because I don't want to come off as ungrateful. And with looking at my years in my 20s, have you ever looked back on something and be like, damn, I didn't get that support? I'm realizing, and tell me if this is relatable. As a Black woman, I've noticed that the men in my family, the boys in my family, are very much babied. And to give an example, all while I was going through college, and to put it quite bluntly, you know, I had a job working at McDonald's. I paid for my college necessities, what I needed, and had a job while in college. Always had a job while in college. Worked a lot, so going to school, worked, tired. But versus my little cousin just went to college, and I'll just say the support that I needed was there. I know my grandma was giving him like a monthly allowance for his graduation gift, and I'm like, damn, that would have helped a lot when I was in college. You know, I would have loved some little extra pocket change while I was in college. I would have loved a little monthly income in my banking account while I was in college. And I think I'm just going back to looking at my life and looking at it now. I've told my husband time and time again, I do not, and I pray to God willing, because you can tell them what you want to do. I don't want my kids to be working for things we should be providing. Like, I don't want them to have to work during high school. They should be enjoying high school. They should be enjoying the college experience. Even when it came to prom, I remember my granny was like, I asked her to pay for alterations for my prom dress, and that I would pay her back. So I paid her a portion. Mind you, I'm high school, I'm working at McDonald's, they ain't paying you not a damn thing. I was making $7.25 an hour, and that was minimum wage back then. And when I graduated, that was my graduation gift, not having to pay the rest of the alterations. And I just look back on some of that stuff, like even for my prom, I had to pay for everything. I couldn't even get my nails done the way I wanted them to get done, because it was like I had to pay for my hair. It was just a lot. And I just don't want my children to have to pay for things that I feel a parent should pay for, or even a grandparent. So in my 30s, I just want to be able to provide financially for my family. That's including my husband, my children. I want my children to be able to live their life and not just survive it, or just go about day by day, or stressing about how am I going to pay my phone bill when they have parents. That's their job. That's what we're supposed to do as adults, and that's just how I feel about it. But going on a rant, let me know what y'all think about that. But I do feel like even my cousins, I have a brother and 2 male cousins, they've definitely been babied throughout their whole life, like especially by my grandmother, and then by my mom. Like, I just really feel like I always, and I'm going to say it, and I felt I had to grow up fast and be independent fast. That's why I'm so grateful for my husband, because he definitely, and it wasn't his responsibility, he made sure and still makes sure that I'm okay financially. My camera cut off right here, and I just want to say that my husband definitely provides for me financially. He makes sure that I am okay physically, emotionally, spiritually, and just my well-being overall. And I'm so grateful that God brought him into my life to be all of that and more for me. But I'm still in awe of the woman I'm becoming, because I'm like, damn, Exandria in high school, elementary, the little bully, insecure girl, is probably like, wow, look at you, girl. So I'm just so grateful for God and all that he's helped me through. So I had a few interviews, and with the interviews I was preparing with my grandmother for these interviews. And one of the mock questions that I wanted to prepare for, like, what are the 3 most important things? What are the 3 most important things to you? The top 3. And I said my relationship with God, self-preservation, and family. And my granny looked at me. She said, "You sure you want to do self-preservation?" I said, yeah, because that's true. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, she was like, well, that's just like making it about you. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Because it is about me. I think relationship with God is very important because I can't function without God in my life. I don't know about you. I cannot function without God in my life. I've seen it without it and I don't want to go back. In self-preservation, like, I have to take care of myself in order to show up as my best self for any company, organization, the people I'm serving, and also to do God's work that he wants to do through me. I need to be able to show up as my best self. So self-preservation and being selfish with me and taking care of me physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that looks like, is very important to me. And my grandmother, she is one that has always put herself last. My mama puts herself last. My aunt puts herself last. I see women in my family, black women, putting themselves last. And that is something that I'm not passing on to my daughter. I'm not doing. Like, I'm putting me first. God first, then me, my husband, my fur babies. For me, self-preservation is very important. I've seen what it does. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab, because I've been using eyeshadow for my eyebrows. I've seen what putting yourself last has done to the women in my family. And it's not pretty to me, and I don't want to do that, and I also don't want to do that to my children, especially my daughter, especially if I have a daughter. I even see it with my friends, and it's just like, I refuse to be putting myself last and not happy and always complaining about nobody cares about me. And in a way, I still do that because I feel like people assume that I have it all together and I don't. And I get in those moods of not wanting to be here, feeling like I'm just existing, and I still feel that way sometimes, like I'm just here. What am I doing? Somebody else should have this place in my life, because it's just, I don't want to just exist anymore. And I talked to a friend through text, y'all. The makeup is stopping, the tears, praise Jesus, all thanks to God. I talked to my friend. I told my friend, like, I really just don't want to be here. I feel like I am existing. Like, what am I doing? I can't enjoy life because I can't pay or afford right now to enjoy life. I can't take a trip. I'm in a routine every day that I am not excited about. The only parts of my day that I would be excited about, and I still, like I said, I still get these moods. Waking up, talking to God, seeing my husband, you know, seeing my fur baby, seeing my dog and my cat. And I just have to be praying and praying very hard. And one of the things she told me, and I hope this helps somebody, was like, you need to have you an emergency kit. She also told me it might be depression, and I'm working on that. I can't wait to find a great black woman therapist. And I think it is depression, and I probably do need to get on some meds. But one of the things she told me, which helped me yesterday, was you need an emergency kit. Like, when you get down in these funks, was 3 things that you can do. And one of the things I say, you know, get in my Bible. The second thing was go to the beach. I love to sit in a calming space. Something, it doesn't have to be the beach, like I could just be at a park. But just the sound of water helps me. Or like, and my third thing to do is probably just go visit my grandparents and sit with them for a while. Because, you know, sitting with them makes me very happy and just grateful. So one of the things I took from my emergency kit yesterday was sitting at the beach and reading the scripture, and I decided to read Joby. I've been calling that thing Jobs. You know, the book of Jobs, and it's Joby, and guess who my husband corrected me on it. He said, you mean Joby? I'm like, well, why the hell they spell it like that? So yeah, when I say check on your strong friends, check on your strong friends. So what I will say is that do not be intimidated or feel bad about taking care of yourself, because at the end of the day, people is only taking care of themselves. And after you get through taking care of everybody, who's gonna take care of you if nobody's there? You and God. So take care of yourself, especially to show up as the best you can be for yourself and God. And showing up and taking care of yourself, I feel it just makes you better for the ones you love. When they say hurt people, that is true. When they say misery loves company, that is true. So I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be bringing other people down. I don't want to be doing all that. So yes, I put God first, then me second. Another thing I want to be doing, y'all, I don't even think I'm gonna finish my makeup. I might finish it off. Come back like, hey, yeah, I started. Another thing is I want to move, and I will be moving, God willing. I want to move where there's a lot of blackness. Where I'm from, Wisconsin, it's just nothing but white people, and I dislike being the only black girl, the only black girl. I just don't, and I feel like I could never trust. Like, I just don't feel safe in whiteness. I'm not gonna explain it here, but I just don't feel safe in whiteness, and I feel the mental weight of it all, and I don't want my children to grow up here. So if you don't know, I used to live in Tennessee, Arkansas, both combined, and I can just tell the difference of when I left there and came here, what it did to me. And I should ask my brother if he felt it too, but he is acclimated. He is acclimated. And whiteness can be draining. I want to go back to an all-black church, like my grandpa's church. I just want my children to be able to experience blackness the way I did when I was younger. I don't want their confidence to be depleted because people have an unconscious bias about black kids and black people in general. And not too long ago, I was at church, and my church is predominantly white. They got some people of color and black people in there, but it's not a lot. And I was recently at my church, and this isn't the first time I experienced this, where, you know, people ask me my name. I say Exandria. It's really not that hard. I think it's called acronym of how to say it. Exandria. Let me make sure this camera is on before I tell y'all. Exandria. And every time, I kid you not, people are like, well, do you have a nickname? And I say, no. Even though I do, but I would have told you that instead of my name that the Lord, my mother, blessed me with. So this last Sunday, somebody was like, can I, you need a nickname. And if you know, you know. They said, you need a nickname. I said, no. What else can we call you? Exandria. You don't want to get a nickname? I'm like, no. And it's just like the microaggression of that irritates my soul because, for one, I'm not a pet. And this happened a lot, and I just don't say anything about it. But that's the type of thing that irritates me, because my name isn't difficult, and even if it was, don't be naming me like a pet. And it's just like, oh my goodness, this just makes me ready to go. And I was already having a bad day at church, not about church, but I started crying randomly. That's for another story. And I feel like I'm stagnant here being Black. I feel like, you know how you do everything right? I just don't feel like the opportunities are here for me and my husband to grow. It's just like been stagnant, and I feel like when you are stagnant, it's time to go. Especially if you tried everything, if you feel you tried everything. But that's something I'll pray about hard, because I don't want to just do it because of how I feel. I want to make sure that's what God wants. But I feel like we've been stagnant in a lot of areas in our life. I'm gonna have to look that up in the Bible. Like, when nothing's moving, is it time to move? Is it time to move? Have you ever felt like that it's time to go? Or if you are a person who has left, like, what solidified you moving? I really want to be wanting to know, because I'm definitely not around people that have just moved and left and went somewhere. No, I have. My pastor and first lady did, but God told them to. So maybe I'm gonna ask my first lady. How did she know it was time to move? Because you definitely want to ask other people, but also ask God. I'm also in the thing where I want friends. I do want friends, but it's so hard for me to open up. It is so hard for me to trust people, and it's like, why do you want to get close to me? One thing about it, people will tell me, I saw this video and it hit it right on the spot. Even when I was working, people was like, since you don't really open up, you need to open up more. And in my head, it's like, I'm here to work. Why do I need to open up more? Why do I need to tell you my business? And them folks didn't know nothing about me, okay? It was just like, Xandra really does come here and do her job and leave. Yes, I do what I get paid for, and I leave. I do not, like, why am I getting to know you? And they be wanting me to open up, and I'm like, I don't, that's what it is. I don't trauma bond. I don't tell my business. I'm not that person. Shoot, people on social media be like, Xandra, I didn't even know you was married. That's a good thing. I don't like to show my husband. I don't like to show things that are important to me. If I'm gonna do YouTube, I'll make sure it's just, you know, me on it. I'm gonna take the blow wherever that come from. I don't want I be seeing how people dig up people on YouTube business, and I just be like, thank you. So I know what not to share. Okay. But the video I watched, and I'll probably link it somewhere down below, they can't figure you out. And people be trying so hard to figure me out. And this goes into what I'm saying. I want to make friends, but it's just like, I don't want to be the friend that knows it all anymore. I don't want to be the friend that you confide in anymore. I don't want to be that friend that has to be strong. I want strategic friendships where we're growing. And maybe that's a vision board I should make. I just want friends who are go-getters, that we can chat, that I can talk to outside of my husband about girl things, that I can just call up. Well, I think I really just want a best friend, but I haven't found that person. And it could be a me thing of not letting people in, to where I want a person that I can call in the middle of the night and tell them this and this and that, and I can trust that it's just between us. I want a person I can go shopping with. I want a person that I can say, come over, let's do makeup, or let's record a YouTube video, let's do this content. I want a bestie friend that I can be like, come on, let's do this. because nobody wants to do anything alone, especially not me. I don't want to do anything alone anymore. I don't want to be a loner anymore, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I noticed that I've just been probably protecting myself. And I have social media friends, but I want a friend close by that I can be like, come on girl, let's go do this content, let's go do this and do that, and we are mutually both benefiting from this. And I wish I was closer to my social media friends, as far as, because they not the people I met on social media, they're not social media friends, but like we talk in real life and off the social media, we build a close bond. But they live down south. They all live down south, and I wish I was closer to them. Ooh, excuse me. I would never recommend them coming to Wisconsin. I feel like there are no opportunities here, and it's a very good old boys type of club. Yeah, hence why I want to move. But if I could find a friend here, that'll be dope. A quality friendship. Like, I just want to call you and let's go shoot content. I want to call you, hey, how does this look? Hey, could you help me do this? Also, let's go out to drink and eat. Let's have a girls' night. Let's do this. And I need more friends like that. And then our guy friend, maybe we go to church together. But I feel like I don't know how to find those, especially with being an introvert. You have these things, but everybody I meet that I get close with, they always live down south. They live in Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, all those places. And I just wish they were closer, but never would recommend moving here. And I don't do a lot with my makeup at all. Like, a lot. Like, I just don't. That's why people probably like, it looks like you don't have on makeup. I'm like, I'm glad I did shit. I don't want it to look like I got on makeup anyway. I just want to look good. You feel? What's up? Also, in my 20s, my late 20s, I realized that I do not want to show my, oh, you know, before we get on that, let's talk about femininity. I was recently, like, I'm into, if you know Style by, not well, the makings of Jamie, I love her so much. She's very good with black femininity. But one thing I noticed that the girls don't talk about when it comes to feminine energy is servant leadership. I feel that's not when I'm most feminine, but I feel like that's a requirement. And when I see girls talking about feminine, being feminine, doing all this feminine stuff, they never talk about serving. And a lot of people say femininity is close to godliness. You know, that's their opinion. I won't say it's mine. But God and Jesus was very big on servant leadership. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm serving every day or doing something, which I really do in my 30s, needs to increase on serving the way Jesus did. But I feel that that should be talked about with femininity. Serving others, or serving those less fortunate. Yes, the bags look good, your makeup look good, cooking for your husband is looking good, you know, whatever. But what's not discussed enough is servant leadership. And I'm not going to be preaching because I haven't been serving as much as I should be. And that's something that I really, really want to work on, is giving my time to serving the less fortunate, those in poverty, homeless, hungry. Like, I am very blessed, very, very blessed, even though it's not where I saw myself. I'm still very much blessed and highly favored. I always want to say highly flavored. Like, girl, is you a chicken wing? No. But I feel like people don't discuss servant leadership a lot. And I wonder if people do know how to serve others, because I feel like society has become, yes, I just said self-preservation, but self-absorbed in idolizing popularity as well as materialistic things. And what was big to God and Jesus, do not quote me, I feel is servant leadership. Like, that was a big thing for him. He didn't care about how much money you had, what you got on, what your husband looked like, is your makeup done, what was your character, are you serving those? Okay, you served yourself. Okay, I gave you everything you needed, I blessed you with a multitude of everything, I'm taking care of all your needs. Now how are you helping my other people that need help to, you know, survive, get there where he needs to be? How are you telling your testimony to others? What does that look like? And now that I'm talking about it, I would love to speak about, be a public speaker, a transformative speaker, and talk about my journey of self-acceptance, of feel like, look, I just did not like myself. I did not like myself, and I just always question why God made me so ugly, why he did this and why he did that. And I would love to talk to young ladies, even women that are my age, about how to get through it or how to grow through it. I would say that. Because I don't feel like that's talked about enough. And now that I'm talking about it, I do want to do public speaking. I want to get paid for it, but maybe that's my servant leadership, to go start talking to girls, to just start sharing my story, sharing bits and pieces of it, inspiring the next generation. Because one thing I would have, let me say, I'm thinking about doing a hygiene. I'm always thinking about doing a hygiene video. I was always I talk to my husband a lot. I'm like, I wish my mama would have taught me this. I wish they would have taught me this. I honestly say this is weird. I'd be like, my husband to raise me. He taught me financial responsibility. Did I listen? Probably not, but I've learned a lot from him. My hygiene got better. Taking care of your body. What else? Saying no. And when I say hygiene, it's not, yes, all you need is soap. Let me just be very, very clear. But you need a particular soap. And I love Dial soap. It's just a lot of things that I wish I would have known in my younger days that I think would have helped me. But something that God wanted me to go through for whatever reason. And we're still unraveling what that is. I'm noticing I don't want to educate, and I don't want to do for others. As far as I was doing virtual assisting, social media management, assistant, like, I don't want to do that. I honestly just want to get paid for a living, which is influencer. I want to get paid for being myself. I want to get paid for being my authentic self and spreading inspiration, spreading the power of, like, the power of having a relationship with God. My journey of doing that, helping other young girls, especially young Black girls, just like grow through the process. So I don't want to work for others. I feel like I want to get paid for living my life, and I don't know what that looks like. I do not know how that will turn out. But that's what I've been thinking about. I'm not happy with doing stuff for other people. For, like, when it comes to the time part of it, it just isn't worth it. And then people don't want to pay you. They think you just coming out to price out your booty. And I'm not honestly charging. I'm charging for, like, what the hell I can do. But one thing I would do is probably do a class so people can do it. But I highly recommend, if you can afford somebody to do it for you, pay that price, because it's definitely worth it. I be reading marketing books and everything. I'm like, it really is in a book. Reading rainbow. If anything I can tell anybody, if I could tell you, is just to read a book. Read a book about marketing. I have been thinking about going back to school for what's it called, for business management. I feel like everybody should take a class on business management. Let me put this on. Oh, let me tell y'all. I be praying, well, I haven't prayed, but I just pray that these YouTuber pranks, like, people just stop. Because they really getting out of hand. I'm just like, y'all gonna get beat up. And I say that to say, like, because everybody ain't playing. And I hate when they be like, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank. Like, it's your fault that they choking you. Like, because you choking them up because you done tried them. And all they was trying to do was go to Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and get groceries, get their stuff and leave. And you want to play. You want to die over a prank. So I was in Target the other day. I was in Target, you know, minding my business because I'm finna dye my red wig black. So I'm looking at the dye in Target. I'm gonna dye in Target. Looking for a black dye. So I'm about to box dyes. Here comes this little white boy. He had a tattoo on his face, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, what'd he say? I like your hair or something like that. And I said, oh, thank you. He said, how? What did you do to get it that color? I said, honey, I dyed this years ago, literally probably 17 years ago, this red wig. I'll insert a picture somewhere if y'all really want to see how it was when it was red. And then he was like, he stood there for a minute. I'm like, okay, this is awkward. Please do not get at me. Please, I'm really just trying to get the black dye and go home and dye this red wig black. So then, Lord Jesus, hold on y'all. Excuse me. He says, do you mind if I ask you a question? I'm like, sure, ask me a question. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, please don't ask me a dumb question. I am not in the mood. So then he goes to ask, can I run a train on you? And in my head, I'm thinking, I didn't even answer. And I was like, is this YouTube? And he was like, huh? I said, is this YouTube? He was like, huh? And then he was asking me something and I just ignored him. I'm just like getting my black, like I said, getting my dye and leaving. He then goes to say, I said, he said, so you're not just gonna say so? I said, no, and I'm leaving. He's like, hold on, wait, I gotta show you something. And I just walked off. I said, that's rude, don't approach a lady like that. I don't care, whatever it is. So I just leave. I called my husband. My husband then came to Target. He was like, did the dude leave? I said, I don't know. He was around lurking a little bit. Probably looking for it. I'm like, this gotta be a prank because you ain't never coming up to no lady, because I'm a lady, goddamn it. You ain't never going up to no lady asking her, can you run a train? And I think he picked me because he probably thought he was gonna get the typical stereotypical way people already think black women act reaction, and he didn't get that. And so my husband came up there. I'm googling a prank where you say, can you run a train? Can they run a train on you? And it is a YouTube prank where they do ask you, can they run a train on you? And I guess they bring out a little toy train or something. That's what he said. He was like, I just got my license. I'm like, just be safe out here if y'all gonna be doing that. Like, it's starting to get irritating because people just come to shop. They come to the store, and I guess you can do online pickup too, but damn, I like the social interactions and the aesthetics of going into the store sometimes. But yeah, that happened to me, and I was just like, the way my husband came up there, because I sure called him, because what you gonna have a husband for if he ain't gonna protect you? That part. And me, my little soft, delicate self, I'm like, you look, that could have went a different way, because if my husband had came with me and was in a different part of the store, I definitely would have stayed right there and told him to come. Y'all, I'm finished with my makeup. I'm gonna go put my wig on and like give a little fake finished look. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Well, I'm gonna say that for when I'm done up. I'll be back. Oh, I look good, y'all. Oh, I look so pretty. Y'all, this wig is about 10 years old too. Handmade, babies. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. I hope that you love this little sit down, get ready with me, me rambling. I really enjoyed it. I might do it more depending on if y'all like it or not. I hope this got for you to, I hope you got something from this. That's the end goal. All right.